I thought I would pick up the machinist set from Harbor Freight since it was only $10. Granted, it was in a bubble pack, but believe it or not, it was quite easy to open. Why can't all bubble packs be designed for easy open? Well, back to the point. I didn't expect top-end tools at this price, but if you stick around, I'll tell you what I did find. Hi, I'm Scott Bain. They call me the old farmer. $10 for a 6-piece measuring set? Maybe back in the 1960s. So let's see what we did get for the money. First and foremost, an easy open bubble pack that can hold the tools when you're finished with them. Whether it's with the job or permanently will be up to you. What we get in the package is a 6-inch stainless steel ruler with pocket clip, a 6-inch spring inside caliper, 6-inch spring outside caliper, 6-inch spring divider, 6-inch depth gauge, and a 5-inch analog caliper. Now, that stuff isn't stainless steel. Only the ruler is stainless steel. Not even the clip is stainless steel. Did I say all this for $10? To be honest, I wanted a good pair of dividers and was willing to pay more than $10. Did I say all 6 was only $10? I must say, they're thoroughly oiled down to prevent rust. Only the ruler was stainless steel. They used machinist oil, which isn't bad, and must have dunked them into a tank of oil. You know, I didn't mind that. That was a good idea. What I did mind is that they used machinist oil. I don't know if you've ever dealt with used machinist oil. It stinks of burned steel, gritty with steel bits in it that gets into everything. I would recommend strongly that you spray the tools with something like silicone or WD-40, something in a spray can so you can knock the grit out of it. There's even grit in the threads. That makes it hard to turn the knobs. I had to use a wrench to loosen the knob on the depth gauge. Okay, now I'm having trouble with this camera, maybe because it's too cold. It's 18 degrees outside. I start working on things, and this is not a smooth operation today. We'll get her cleaned up. I didn't put any positive reviews on the slide. What you need to know are the negatives, and if the tools can be used to do what they're designed to do. Be careful with the points on the various dividers. They are needle sharp, and there's a barb on them. I would recommend dulling them enough so that they won't grab your skin. It wouldn't be a bad idea to round some of the edges, too. I find that the tools are uncomfortable to use. They feel like raw steel before any milling has been done, and the dirty oil doesn't help any. To be honest, they're not fun tools to hold in the hand. And I would imagine for the few individuals out there with more dexterity than I have, the foot. Okay, I tried doing this a little bit earlier. The camera kept shutting down on me and not working properly. And so, because it was 18 degrees outside, and I never had cameras do that to me. So the process that I'm doing is I'm cleaning up the machine here, the machinist measuring tools, and making sure it works right. Okay. Before I go any further, I'm going to clean these things. I'm not the type that needs a tool to be absolutely custom made for my hand. But let's face it, if you dread picking up the tool, chances are good that if you use the tool, it will be as little as possible. You know, for most tools, I don't have an opinion one way or the other. It works, it doesn't work. If it works, is it hurting my hand? Do I have any negatives about it? And if I don't have any negatives about it, then fine. The tool's fine for me. I don't have to have it custom made. I would be curious to know if anyone threw them in a sandblaster to make them feel better. It feels like some of these tools were stamped out using a drop forge and never finished, that is, polished, whatsoever for a better feel. Yes, I know this is nitpicking, but let's face it, how many of us would be willing to grab, barehanded, the front end of a sewer snake? It's not that bad, but it does lean a bit in that direction.
Even just cleaning the tools up, they feel much better.
I will say, it does the job. I think those people who said it doesn't work really don't understand how to use the tools. They don't. There's a spring tension against the thread, and you adjust the thread to where it's supposed to be. And if you don't bump it, it'll stay there so you can do the things that you want to do with the tools. I think the stainless steel ruler is accurate enough. The calipers, I think, are accurate enough too. And the others, you use the dividers in two different ways. You either go to a ruler and take a measurement and then transfer that to the work that you're doing, or you set it to the piece of work that you have finished and bring it over someplace else so that you can mark the wood to fit what you've made. You measure for the first piece, and then you reference all the other pieces that will join to it off the piece that you made. In other words, a joint or something. You make 1/2 the joint, use that as your reference for making the second piece. That way they'll fit tighter, because if you're measuring, it isn't going to work as well. So the question comes back to this. Can you use these tools for what they were intended to be used for? You can. I think if someone has a budget problem, this is a good starter set. I think you could even have Rob Cosman cussing like a mule using them, but I bet he could get accurate measurements for his projects using these tools. He just wouldn't like using them. They're not fun tools to use, but they are tools of value for those individuals who have to watch the budget. They'll do the job. They're not fun. And if you have a bit of a problem with dividers because the knob on the thread moved a little bit, drop a little bit of that temporary Loctite onto it so that it doesn't move as easily. But if you're careful, I don't see a problem using these tools. Out of the bubble pack, these tools will work. And if you don't have any tools, for example, you go somewhere and a friend of yours says, "Can you help me with this?" and you need these types of tools, you can think of them as disposable. So let me stop right here. I'll clean everything up, and then I'll get back with you and tell you what I feel after I've cleaned up the tools and do all the things to see if I can make these nicer tools. Well, I am kind of surprised. They're better than what I thought they would turn out to be. Kind of reminds me of the drafting tools that I used back in high school. Not great, but they would do the job. So if you have a drafting friend that you want to get some tools for, or a machinist friend that you want to get some tools for, unless you do it for a gag, don't get them these. But if you have a student that's starting out doing things where these tools are handy, and they clean them up the way they should be cleaned up, and then lightly coat them with a little bit of spray oil or silicone. I prefer to use silicone myself because it doesn't collect dust. I think you're going to be okay with it. And if you have a problem with it, I really have to come back and say, I think the problem may be you. Are you being a little careless using them? I know sometimes I am with tools and find out that the problem more often than not is me, not the tool. So maybe that's the problem with you. But I think if you're a little careful on it, you don't abuse them, I think they'll be okay. Will I be buying another set, a better set? Oh, yeah, I am. But it'll get me by until I find exactly what I want. Because I want to put my hands on them. I don't want to do a mail order. I want to be able to put my hands on them and see if they fit my hands well. Because this can be delicate work. And if it doesn't fit the hand well, it could make things be off a little bit. Well, I've rambled on enough about this. Thank you to all those who have subscribed. You don't know how much it means to us. It really does. It's very humbling to see people watching these videos and supporting these videos. It's such a humbling experience. Unless you've gone through this in a similar manner elsewhere, it's maybe a little bit difficult to understand just how humbling this is. So when I say thank you, it's from the bottom of my heart. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to us. It means a lot to the channel. So thank you. And when I say be well, be safe, I mean it. Take that extra second to make sure you're safe. Take that extra step that you can do to keep yourself well. When in doubt, wash your hands, even if you did so 10 seconds before. Things like that. Well, this is the old farmer, Scott Boehm. Just a reminder to be well and be safe.
Don't forget to click like and click subscribe on the Old Farmer YouTube channel. And thanks again for watching. Bye.
The VFW National Home for Children, providing families of veterans and active duty military opportunities for growth and development in a nurturing community. Please consider a donation to help their children and families. I.C. Rhodes speaking.